Something smooth yet sinister, coming through to diminish you. And this here's the finisher. Check it out,
guys. It's your boy Trey coming back at your screen by means of the World Wide Web. And today for you guys, what we are going to get into, as the title suggests, is going to be a review of the Final Fantasy Brave Exvius collab unit Fina. Alright, she has been out for quite some time now. A few weeks to a month, I want to say. But I have yet to go ahead and drop that review on her. So let's go ahead and get that out the way. First, let's make it easy to find her by getting rid of all the nonsense at least. Roll on down to Fina real quick. We'll pull her up and then we'll pretty much speak on what everything this unit is capable of, and then my 2 cents on how I feel about her as a unit and whether or not she's worth it. Okay, so I didn't pull Fina in my original video when I summoned for Rain and Fina. Alright, it was off camera. I was able to pull Rain and Fina. I pulled Fina. She was the last summon I decided to do. Went for one last YOLO and boom, she popped up. So good stuff. I got my hands on her. Now let's briefly speak about it. First, since I got her up to Omni form, let me go ahead and let you know what you need to evolve her from 7-star to Omni form. Okay, what you'll need to do that is 2 Mecha Light Guides, 2 Miracle Totems, 2 Light Bulbs, 1 Metal Mimic, 1 Legend Stone, 3 million Zell, 1 million Karma. Right, and that will get your Fina up to her Omni form that you see here on screen. All right, now that you got up Omni form, let's go ahead and speak on what this unit is capable of. Okay, so first thing, normal hit count is 16. Alright, she has up to 3 on the drop check per hit for a total of 48. Alright, the BB is a support BB. It is purely support, no damage whatsoever. Okay, it's going to take you 22 BCs to fill that gauge up. And then her SBB, she starts to dish out the damage here. 28 hit AoE attack. Going to take you 48 BCs in order to fill that gauge up. So that's a total of 70. 70 between the two. Alright, but she does get 2 per enemy unit per hit on the drop check, so that's 56 on the drop check per enemy. That's pretty high. Alright, and then you got her damage modifier sitting at 870%. Alright, so that's also pretty high. And then lastly, we got the UBB. It is a 30 hit AoE attack, going to take you 30 BCs to fill that gauge up. Also still getting 2 on the drop check per enemy unit per hit. So that's a total of 60 on the drop check per enemy unit. All right, it starts out at a 1500% damage modifier at its lowest point. It can get all the way up to 4000% damage modifier, depending on how many BB gauges you have present at the time of using it. We'll get into a little bit more detail later on that. Okay, now as far as the imp caps here, I don't have her imped here, so she has the standard imp cap, guys. All right, 1500 on the HP, 600 on the other 3 stats. All right, now let's go ahead and get first off into her leader skill here called Bonds of Friendship. 50% boost to max HP and recovery, and 100% boost to the attack of all units when 4 elements or more are present. So she's slightly a rainbow lead. Most rainbow leads require 5 elements. She only requires 4. Right, considerably boosts OD gauge fill rate. That's about 25%. Considerably reduces BB gauge required for BB. That's also about 25%. And negates status ailments. Alright. And then the next thing we got here is an extra skills called Lost Memories. Negates status ailments. Good stuff. Hugely boosts recovery relative to remaining HP. That's going to be a 1.5% boost per 1% HP remaining. Or at a full HP, she's going to get 150% boost to her recovery. Okay. Nice stuff there. And it also adds resistance against 1 KO attack after activating overdrive. Right, so it's going to kick in once she activates overdrive, which means, if I'm understanding this correctly, it can happen more than once per battle. Granted, it will have to be a fairly lengthy battle, but it is possible for it to happen. All right, one thing I'm not sure about is whether or not it has to be her that activates overdrive, or can it just be when any unit activates overdrive. That I'm not entirely sure on. I have not done the testing or the research on that aspect of her extra skill yet. Okay, now her BB is purely support here. Alright, it's called Alleviating Cura. Greatly restores HP, removes all status ailments, considerably boosts BB gauge. That's about 12 BCs. Activates a light barrier that has 3000 HP, and slightly boosts overdrive gauge, and that is by 8%. Alright, that's a flat boost. That's the way you want to fill up that overdrive gauge, baby. All right. Now, when we get to the SBB, we starting to get into the damage here. It's called Arch Blast. 28 combo, powerful light attack on all foes. Hugely boosts BB gauge. That's about 25 BCs. That's considerable. That's like game breaking. Well, I don't want to say game breaking, but it is top tier. Okay. Hugely boosts defense and recovery for 3 turns. That's about 160% there. All right. Hugely boosts attack relative to recovery for 3 turns. That is a 100% conversion there. And considerably reduces damage from light and dark types for 3 turns. And that's about 15%. All right. Nice stuff. Good stuff. Last but not least, we got the UBB. It's called Heaven's Judgment. 30 combo, massive light attack on all foes. It uses all allies BB gauge. All right. And that's where that 4,000 damage modifier comes into play. If everyone has full BB gauges when she uses her UBB, that thing's going to have a 4,000% damage modifier. And she's going to fill the BB gauges right back up. So why wouldn't you do it, guys? All right. As soon as she uses it, she gives 100 BCs to everyone. And I don't really think there's anyone that has more than a 100 BC requirement for BB and SBB. All right, so you'll be fine using her UBB first and then allowing everybody to follow up with their SBB, okay? Now, moving right along, fully restores HP for 3 turns, enormous damage reduction for 2 turns, enormously boosts BB gauge for 3 turns, and enormously boosts on recovery for 3 turns, all right? So, I'm pretty sure this works like I was stating earlier, like, is it Lucius? Lucius's UBB, when it takes all the BB gauges, but then it turns around and fills it right back up. I'm pretty confident that's how this works, okay? Like I said, I haven't done the research, I haven't tested it, so don't kind of quote me or hold me to it, but I'm pretty confident that's how it works, all right? And even if it doesn't, she does fill 100 BCs for the following 3 turns, so you'll have full BB gauge the next turn regardless. So that's good stuff there. You're also going to have full HP for the next 3 turns. And then she boosts her own recovery by 350%, all right? Which is going to go well with her SBB with that recovery to attack conversion there. Good stuff, all right? Now, moving right along, you got her enhancements, okay? So, let's take a quick look at the list of her enhancements, see what she's fully capable of here. So, when you max this girl out on the SP points, here's your options, okay? For 10 points, you get a 20% boost to max HP and defense. For 10 points, you get a 50% boost to recovery. For 20 points, considerably reduces BB gauge required for BB. That's about 25%. For 20 points, enhances leader skills max HP, recovery, and attack parameters boost effect. So it's going to be plus 10% HP and recovery and plus 50% attack. So it'll be a total of 60% HP and recovery and 150% attack on that leader skill, okay? As we scroll on down here, add status element removal effect to SBB. That is going to cost you 10 points there. All right. And then we got for 20 points, adds great restoration of all allies HP when attacking effect to SBB. All right. Pretty good healing there. Then for 30 points, add status element negation for 3 turns, effect to BB and SBB. Good stuff there. All right, for 30 points, adds light barrier effect to SBB. So you're going to get that 3,000 HP light barrier. That's on the BB, now on the SBB, okay? For an additional 10 points, you can enhance that light barrier for an extra 1,000 HP. So it'll be 4,000 HP total. All right. And then lastly, for 40 points, enhances SBB's defense and recovery boost effect. And it's going to increase about 20%. So she will then be increasing defense and recovery by 180%. That's pretty considerable for an SBB, guys, okay? So, now that we know pretty much everything Fina does, what are my thoughts on her? I think she's a fairly decent unit, all right? The main place I would see myself using someone like her is probably raid battle, all right? The RC6 raid battles will actually be a pretty good place for her to be. Maybe some lengthy, more difficult content like GGCs or trials, depending on what's needed. I can see her BB and SBB being useful in something like a lengthy GGC or trial. All right. But for the most part, I would probably use her in raid. Okay. I highly doubt I would use her as a leader. I don't find her leader skill to be that impressive, so I highly doubt I would use her as a leader. But Her BB is purely support, which I'm usually against in all fashions. All right, but hers is actually pretty decent. It does quite a few things, including that 8% boost to overdrive gauge. That's really good stuff right there, guys. All right, get that overdrive gauge full quick. I'm talking about usually with a BB like that, you can get that thing filled within like 3 or 4 turns instead of the usual 5 for the first time you're filling it up. Okay, so that's good stuff there. I find that she does have a pretty high BC cost. All right, you need a total of 70 BCs in order to completely fill up her BB and SBB gauge. That's pretty high. All right, now granted, with the right set of leader skills, that will seem like nothing, but outside of that, that's pretty freaking high. Okay, just want to make that known, guys. But her SBB comes with an 870% damage modifier, and she is a unit where you really want some recovery boosting to be happening, because the higher your recovery, when she uses that SBB, it's going to convert to attack, and you are going to be hitting like pretty freaking hard. All right, the UBB, I have to do my research on if it acts like Lucius's does, where as soon as they use the UBB, he fills up the gauge like right after, so everyone can use the SBB. If it works like that, it's pretty freaking good. All right, and it's strong as heck with a 4,000% damage modifier, so it's good in that aspect. The only thing is, as I have said in previous videos, any UBB without damage mitigation is very situational. All right, because a majority of the in-game content, these guys are hitting like trucks, and you definitely are going to want some high damage mitigation taking place in order to not die. All right, so with the UBB like that, it may not be so useful, guys. Okay, it is strong and it does do some good things, but you probably are not going to be wanting to use it in more difficult in-game content. All right, so overall, I think she's a fairly decent unit. All right, far from the worst out of this batch of the collaboration units. I'll be telling you which one I think is the worst here soon. I've already reviewed the one that I think is the best, but Fina's definitely not the worst. Okay, but we'll get into that at a different time. All right, so that pretty much does it for the review of Fina, guys. That's pretty much her from top to bottom in my 2 cents. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for hanging out, for checking out the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. All right, peace out.